Hi, I'm Belinda Sunshine. Welcome to another program of When We Were Young. And today, I'd like to introduce you to a tribute artist. Well, he's one person who performs and sings like a big star, be it Michael Jackson, Tom Jones, Cliff Richard, and what have you. And I'm so glad in this world there are so many tribute artists whom we can always look forward to when the real ones have really gone west.
Hi there, my name is Eddie Foo. I'm a bit of an Elvis tribute artist, and I've been doing that for the last 10 to 15 years. I enjoy Elvis's music. I love delving into his career, his lifestyle, his musicians, and and how he had lived his life as Elvis, which is something that's really quite unique on this planet.
Born in 1958 in Ipoh, Malaysia, Eddie Foo became a fan of the legendary Elvis Presley at just 3 years old. But it was only at the end of his corporate life that his musical journey hit the next milestone. Eddie studied at Victoria Institution, the oldest school in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. He then had a long corporate career. When he was 50 years old then, Eddie took up singing as a hobby and loved to belt out songs by his musical idol, the king of rock and roll, at karaoke bars. He soon realized that he had a flair for it, and despite having no vocal training whatsoever, his innate talent gave him the confidence to perform for an audience.
As a corporate person, you occasionally do have to do some sort of public speaking and all that. And I was always shy, tongue-tied and all of that. But then when I started to sing publicly, I realized that when I stood up to sing publicly, I had no shyness whatsoever.
In 2014, Eddie made a musical pilgrimage to Memphis, Tennessee, the birthplace and hometown of Elvis. It was during this 2-week-long trip that he was inspired to start his tribute act. Eddie started to get invites to sing at charity events, community centers, and dinner shows. He even released a cover album titled Follow That Dream in 1997, which was a big hit among Elvis fans. In 2015, he started his own cover band called the Elvis Mafia with his longtime collaborators. And since then, they have played numerous shows, including opening for an exhibition at the Philatelic Museum at the launch for commemorative Elvis Presley stamps by the US Post.
Well, obviously Ed comes from my name, Eddie. This obviously comes from Elvis's name. So we have Ed, this. Mafia is for the gang of fellows who actually exist in Elvis's life as the Memphis Mafia. So the guys who I have around me, we call ourselves Elvis Mafia. And with then, I sort of performed around community centers, weddings, and those sorts of things. Yeah.
Unfortunately, Eddie will be leaving Singapore for Australia to join his children. Until his departure, Eddie intends to keep on rocking and rolling even as he enters the next phase of his life and keep the flame of Elvis burning bright. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the tribute artist in our program, Eddie Foo. Hi, Eddie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Welcome to our
great.
show When We Were Young.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
You still look very young, in spite of
do?
the fact that you've been living here in
all
Singapore
right.
for 30 years.
Yes, I have.
Perhaps you'd like to share with us, take us back, all these years, why you decided to become a tribute artist.
Well, I think the crux of it is that, I came to Singapore to kind of try my hand at being a corporate guy. And being a corporate guy, you do need something of a stress reliever.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was never good at anything physical, especially the sports. So I thought, and given that I did have, as I recall, some inclination towards the arts and towards the music, I thought I might give the music a bit of a go. So, given that when I was young, my mom and dad, parents, they did encourage me to, they were quite happy for me to kind of sing along on our family rides in the family car and all of that. So I thought I might give music a go. And in those days, Cliff Richard was my number one hero.
Oh.
So I always dreamed of becoming Cliff Richard.
Wow.
Yeah, and then, the tragedy of it all was that, after I came to Australia and started to try to sing, and when I did try to sing, having bought a karaoke set and all of that, my voice, I thought, sounded a little bit more like Elvis than it does Cliff. So I switched.
I see. So that's the reason why you chose Elvis Presley.
Yeah, that's why I chose the music, and that's why I chose Elvis.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But when you were young, were you only listening to Cliff Richard, or were there other
certainly
artists
not.
that you grew up with?
In those times, this was I'm talking about the back in Malaysia. Then before I went to Australia, this was in the late '60s. We were listening to people like Johnny Horton and and those kinds of things. Look for a Star and those sorts of things as well. But Cliff Richard somehow stuck in the mind, and it carried me through to Australia.
I see. But then when you sort of shifted to Elvis, what was the very first Elvis song that you sang?
No, I can't remember.
Can't remember?
I can't really.
It's not going to be what? Jailhouse Rock?
No.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog. No, okay. All right, but never mind, but was it easy for you then, You were in Australia when you were only 17 years old.
Indeed, yes.
And then after that, after you graduated, you worked there in the corporate world.
Right.
And after 39 years, you decided to relocate to Singapore.
Yes,
What is the reason for it?
Well, the world was becoming a very globalized world, a global village, if you like.
Okay.
And of course, basically, I would say that it's a competitive world. So you're in a competition, and you're in a competition to win. Okay, so obviously you want to compete where there's a level playing field, And so I thought I should compete back against and with people who kind of think like me, look like me, speak like me, and those sorts of things.
You mean Asians?
Basically.
Okay.
So I thought, and of course at that time, the Asian economies in Southeast Asia, a lot of them were known as the tiger economies. Singapore, Hong Kong, even the Philippines, Indonesia. So I was quite happy to go to any one of these countries, to try and compete with the fellows there. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, but somehow I finished up in Singapore.
But when you came to Singapore, you didn't give up your Australian citizenship.
Correct, I did not do that.
But were you offered to be a Singapore citizen?
Oh, yes, I was. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I was.
I see. But you decided not to?
Well, the reason for that was simply that by that time, my brother actually went to Australia with me. We went there at the same time, having been sent there by our parents. We had sponsored for our parents under the Australian Family Migration Scheme or Family Reunion Scheme.
Okay.
We were allowed to sponsor our parents to go live in Australia, and we did. So the parents went from Malaysia to live in Australia as well. And so by that time, I'd been living in Australia for more than 20 years. And I couldn't very well take up Singaporean citizenship
Okay.
in the knowledge that if I became a Singaporean, I would be required to give up my Australian citizenship.
Precisely.
Yeah. So that was just not viable because of that reason. Yeah. So I did not.
Yeah.
But I became a PR right from day one. I
Oh,
was
I
offered and I
see.
became a PR, yeah.
Good. But lucky for you too, because this is where you started singing. You took it, you took it as a hobby first, and then after that, I think you formed your own band, and you call your band what? Elvis Mafia.
Look. I think I think we got to set the record a little bit straight, you know,
Okay.
because you know, the music never really became and still hasn't and still isn't a career for me, because I basically worked out my professional job till I retired.
Okay.
Yeah. And essentially, music became a stress reliever, if you like. Yeah. People in management type positions, a lot of them would play golf and stuff like that. Well, I don't play golf, and I don't dance and that kind of thing. So but I had a little bit of inclination towards the singing, so I took that up
I see.
as a hobby, really,
All right.
more than anything else.
But you became very popular, that I do.
Oh, no.
All right. No, because from what I read about you, I mean, you started singing, for dinner events, shows, and one or two corporate events too.
It's all a joy, it still is.
Yeah, I know. And you're doing your tribute to Elvis Presley with your band called Elvis Mafia. But was it easy for you, once you stepped onto the stage and become a performer? What was the challenge for you?
Well, I think I quickly learned that to be a stage performer, you got to sort of create some sort of a persona, a stage persona, okay? And for better or for worse, in my corporate work, you sometimes and occasionally have to stand up and speak publicly, for example. And that was always my weak point. But for whatever reason, whenever I stood up to sing in a pub, I kind of discovered and learned that I never had any fear about it, I just kind of stood up and did what I had to do. And then I sort of figured that, look, if I could stand up and sing to anybody without any shyness or any kind of stage fright, why can't I do the same when I speak publicly in a corporate sense? So I think that's one of the plus things for me, that, singing helped in my job.
Gave you the confidence, so to speak.
Indeed.
All right. Yeah, but what was the very first gig that you did when you were here in Singapore? Can you remember that?
I really can't remember. I've had a lot of episodes where they were just enjoyment to me. People have sponsored me to fly to Sri Lanka to perform, and and I've been to the US, not to perform, but really with a group of Singaporeans to look for Elvis, even though that was, in 2014. And of course, by that time, 2014, Elvis had been dead for quite some time. He died in 1977. But we went with this group of friends from Singapore, we went to America, Las Vegas, Tupelo, Memphis, basically to look for everything Elvis. And it was a fun trip. It really was, And Memphis, I can say and tell you and share that Memphis is a town that really just survives on music. It's a real fun place for music lovers. And the people there are very accepting of anything musical. And I got the opportunity to basically walk up to any band in a pub or, to sing with them. I'll just roll up and wait till the guy finishes a song and say, "Hey, fella, can I sing a song with you?" And they're always quite accommodating,
So you did an Elvis song?
Many in Memphis, along Beale Street.
Oh, I see. Oh, Beale Street.
Yes,
with the blues.
So those are all things of joy, memories of joy.
I see. Yeah. What I need to find out from you is that, many tribute artists usually will follow the act of the person they like. And some of them even mimic or imitate, the artist. But do you do that?
Well, to an extent, yes.
Okay.
To an extent. But I don't really do. I don't take it to the. I don't take the emulating part. Not especially in the dressing part of
Okay.
it, because I don't really want it to become something like a fashion show. I made it for the music, not for the fashion. Not for the dressing fashion and stuff like that. So. Yeah.
Okay. And how do
I don't know if I said the right thing, but
but how do the ladies take to you when you stood on stage and sang Elvis, belting out their favorite Elvis songs?
I guess that's why my wife never comes to my shows.
What is the reason?
That's obvious.
Yeah, because there were many girls out there, right? Say, Eddie, I want the song.
But I think we'll leave it there.
Okay, that is so cool. Yep. Now, okay. Now, having been on stage all these years,
Look, I'm not on stage all the time. Okay, please.
I know, not all the
Don't
time,
let me
but
give you the
having-
wrong idea. I mean.
no. I mean, having performed, let's say, in front of a big audience. I know, like even while we
I
are talking
performed
tonight.
in front of very small audiences. Let me tell you that. But anyway.
But never mind. Even tonight, I mean, today's date is the 12th of August.
Yes, it is.
And tonight, I hear that you are going to have a performance at one of the clubs in Singapore.
Yes.
So are you looking forward to that kind
Indeed.
event?
These are always moments of joy for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Just to share some music and that kind of thing. Yeah.
So what kind of satisfaction, that you get, I mean, when you do this kind of thing?
Well, when I sing, I can tell you quite honestly that when I sing, I don't have a care in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Right or wrong, that's how I feel. Mm-hmm. The joy of the moment of the song. And to me, it's exhilarating. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Now, are you able to share, your experiences with people who love to be a tribute artist like you?
Of course. I mean, I'm happy to share.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the first thing that you would tell a wannabe that, I really want to be Elvis. How do I go about doing it?
No.
Oh, what?
You don't go off telling people that you are Elvis when I'm not Elvis.
Of course.
I'm Eddie Foo.
Yes.
I appreciate that guy's music. Mm-hmm. I like the way he sings it. I like the songs he sings. Mm-hmm. And the kind of arrangements he sings them in. And we'll try to do something similar. Mm-hmm. But we're not Elvis.
Of course.
Nobody is Elvis.
Yeah.
Elvis is Elvis.
That's right. You're not also impersonating him. It's just that the respect.
We are paying tribute to
Yes,
Elvis,
the
okay?
respect and
Not
tribute.
impersonating, because impersonating has got connotations of doing something wrong. You're trying to impersonate that guy.
Correct.
And I think that is
Correct.
wrong. Yeah,
Yes.
It's got the wrong connotation.
I know there are some people who do that, some artists, which I just feel is utterly wrong. Yeah. But never mind, I hear that all your bags are packed and you're ready to go back to Australia. You're moving home.
Well,
I right?
it's a matter of necessity now, because
Okay.
I'm basically jobless here.
You're going back to where you belong,
And,
right?
my kids who are grown, they've got
Okay.
families over there. And I'm going back to rejoin family, yeah.
Okay. But when you're back home, let's say in Australia where you came from, are you going to contribute? Are you going to keep on singing or maybe be a tribute artist when you are in
Look, I'd be
Canberra?
most happy to do that if there are people willing and wanting to listen to me, okay?
Okay. Anyway, it was really nice talking to you. Now, I mean, I really wish you all the best and you will just continue singing as long as you live, right, Eddie? I'm sure you all agree with me.
Well, I will certainly try to do that.
Okay, then we will have one more for the road from you. A song which you have been singing when you're performing.
Sure.
All right? All right, Eddie, take it away.
Baby, let me be your loving teddy bear. Put a chain around my neck and lead me anywhere. Let me be, oh, let him be, oh, a teddy bear. I don't wanna be a tiger, 'cause tigers play too rough. I don't wanna be a lion, 'Cause lions ain't the kind you love and know. Just wanna be your teddy bear. Put a chain around my neck, lead me anywhere. Let me be,
Oh, let him be.
oh teddy bear. Baby, let me be around you every night. Run your fingers through my hair, cuddle me real tight. Oh, let me be,
Oh, let him be.
oh teddy bear. I don't wanna be a tiger, 'cause tigers play too rough. I don't wanna be a lion, 'cause lions ain't the kind you love and know. Just wanna be your teddy bear. Put a chain around my neck, lead me anywhere. Let me be,
Oh, let him be.
oh teddy bear. Oh, let me be,
Oh, let him be.
your teddy bear. I just wanna be your teddy bear.
Ooh, I just want to be your teddy bear. Thank you. That was really cool, Eddie Foo, our tribute artist in this episode of When We Were Young. You are really cool. Hey, I've got this CD which you gave me. When did you do this?
1997.
Oh my God, I was only 5 years old.
Oh.
Well, if you enjoyed our show, make sure that you subscribe to our channel and give your comments. All right? And until the next time when we return with yet another exciting person to talk to and for you to view, I'm Belinda Sunshine, and this is my tribute artist
Eddie Foo.
saying
Bye.
bye.